Voices inside my head must wake up. I don't even know how she actually even got to the middle of the floor there. I don't know if anyone can actually explain that to me, but alright, so the main story begins. Remember, that was just Central saying if I ever get hurt, I can always go back to that tank over there and heal myself. And I'm pretty sure I could bash that door, but I don't really feel like going and spending most of my time trying to deal with it. So, got some med packs in there. Lab station. Alright, let's go check out some medical logs here from 3 days ago.
Still examining the survivors of the damaged freighter. Looks like it goes by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Only one survivor, placed in the coltal tank for recovery. The carbon scoring on the vessel suggests it was in a battle, but no indication of who fired on it. Couldn't get much from the Nava computer. I'm surprised the ship was able to make it inside the Paragus asteroid field without the asteroid drift charts. Aside from the lone survivor, we recovered an old woman. No life signs. There was also a protocol droid and a utility droid on board. Sent both down to maintenance while security sorts through the other items on the ship. It looks like the utility droid, a T3 unit, was able to get the ship working enough to get to the colony. We're prepared to... Could be a Jedi, but we won't know for sure until we get the transmission back from the Republic. If the survivor is a Jedi, that would account for the recovery rate. But I'm more concerned that a Jedi here may cause trouble. Some of the miners, especially Corta, are already Another accident today. A detonation in the ventilation tunnels. If the lockdown measures hadn't activated, the whole facility would have been destroyed. Got most of the injured to the colto tanks in time, but the rest had to go to the morgue. One of the wounded said a droid caused the accident, but we couldn't get any specifics.
And last one from a day ago.
Miners about the Jedi. A number of the droids have been acting oddly, and not even memory wipes seem to be fixing the problem. There was a detonation in another one of the fuel vents the droids were working in. We deactivated several of them and moved them down to maintenance, but we're still treating the plasma burns. That cuts us down to almost half shifts, and with the droids malfunctioning, we may not make the Telos shipment for this month. Fortunately, the detonation didn't cause a lockdown.
Warning, there has been a fuel detonation in the mining tunnels. Emergency lockdown commencing. All personnel report to quarters and prepare for emergency venting countermeasures.
No! If the ventilation systems are malfunctioning, evacuate the medical bay! Everyone
Ooh. How crazy. Alright. And only one patient survives. You're gonna guess who? Unfortunately, I don't have enough spikes to check. So, okay, might as well access the door to behind me, and then access the door to the morgue. And see what's inside here. Some more med packs. Definitely gonna be needing those. I don't want to learn how to do that. So I don't have a whole lot of chemicals to make here, but lab station essentially deals with all the other items that workbench doesn't really cover. So Might as well make another med pack just to be safe. And I'm gonna go ahead, save over. Yeah, it looks like it also does say modded too, which gives me all the more reason to know that hey, it's modded. Woman. This old woman looks dead, but there's no sign of what killed her. And take a look at the corpse. And we'll get to meet the old woman.
Find what you're looking for amongst the dead?
I thought you were dead.
Close to death. Yes, closer than I'd like. You have the smell of the Colto tank about you. How do you feel?
A little disoriented. Was it your voice I heard in the Colto tank?
Yes, I had hoped as much. I slept here too long and could not awaken. It may be I reached out unconsciously, and your mind must have been a willing one. Or perhaps you have been trained for such things.
Just stay out of my mind in the future. Now, what do you want?
I am Kreia, and I am your rescuer, as you are mine. Tell me, do you recall what happened?
Last thing I remember, I was on board a Republic ship, the Harbinger. What happened to it?
Your ship was attacked. You were the only survivor. A result of your Jedi training, no doubt.
If you think I'm a Jedi, you're mistaken.
Your stance, your walk tells me you are a Jedi. Your walk is heavy. You carry something that weighs you down.
The Jedi Order and I have a troubled history.
So it would seem. Keep your past and let us focus on the now.
What is this place?
I do not know. I was removed from the events of the world as I slept. A survey of the surroundings may provide the answers we seek. The ship we arrived in, the Ebon Hawk, must still be in this place. We should recover it and leave.
Why do we need to leave?
We were attacked once, and I fear our attackers will not give up the hunt so easily. Without transport, weapons, and information, they will find us easy prey indeed.
Are you sure there's nothing else you can tell me about this place?
Even as I slept, I felt much unrest here. I saw strange visions, minds colored with fear. Now, everything here feels terribly silent. A last word of caution. I would find out as much as you can about this place quickly. I fear we will need to depart as suddenly as we arrived.
We'll see. There's gotta be someone left alive around here.
You may wish to extend your search to some clothes, if only for proper first impressions.
And she's also kind of a bitch too. Patients in medbay were killed by lethal dose of sedatives. Any idea how it happened?
I do not know. Why did they spare you?
They didn't. I got the same dose, but survived.
Indeed, a Jedi trance could protect one from such poisons. In fact, the sedatives may have been intended to keep you unconscious for some time. It would prove lethal to those untrained in such techniques, however. Most curious.
You seem to know a lot about Jedi techniques.
And so do you. Perhaps we could discuss it at length later on. Now we have other concerns, among them finding our new enemy.
I'll return soon to make sure you're all right.
I leave you to the explorations of this place. Here I will remain and attempt to center myself.
Yeah, fine then. And yes, I'll do a light side walkthrough. Because hey, it's canon, and it may be fun to be the Sith in this game, but I'll just I'll go against conformity
Emergency lockdown overridden.
and just stick to what's best. Vibro cutter. There's a melee weapon. Oh, interesting. Guess I can always just have that as my second weapon of choice. Droid. Not really much else there. We'll get to deal with our first enemies in the game. And I don't really do feats early in the game, per se. Critical strike or anything like that. But later on, eventually become pretty useful. Get a gun. Not a great gun, but it's something. Unfortunately, these droids are not really good shots. So, nothing really much here to be too excited about, except for that. Security tunneler. I thought there was like a, yeah, there was a security locker in there. Take some stuff. And let's check out some more logs. Now everybody's excited about that.
Is this thing on? Alright, all hands, especially you, Corda. Listen up, because I'm not gonna say this again. The next one of you Juma heads to try and smuggle a blaster, or so help me, any sort of military-grade frag weapons into my facility is gonna take a long walk out the airlock. Why? Because in case you forgot, Paragian fuel explodes at high temperatures. That's what blasted that chunk out of Paragus 2 and created this asteroid field. So if I catch any of you with anything other than sonic charges or mining lasers, I'll burn you and your contract. Security out.
Such a hard ass.
And according to one of the miners, it was because one of the sonic charges went off prematurely. And like before, it was one set by a mining droid. The three idiots were grouped so close to the charge it might as well have been a grenade going off. The blast turned their bones to dust. The blast wrecked the internal components of the droid that set the charge, though, so we can't even dissect it to see what happened. I don't like what's going on here. Ever since that Jedi showed up, things are getting worse. It's not just Corda and his miners, or the fights, but now the droids are acting crazy. If we don't find what's causing this, or who, this facility's gonna be space dust by the time the next Telos freighter arrives. So, you're in maintenance. Then maybe you can tell me what's going on with these droids.
Sir, I don't know. It's like their behavior cores are undergoing binary decay, but I can't find the source. This shouldn't be happening.
Well, that's reassuring. It isn't happening. So the next time we nearly have a breach in the ventilation tunnels, I could just close my eyes and pretend it's my imagination. You better give me some answers. I want to know the damage these droids can do if they start mining us instead of asteroid rock.
Sir, these droids aren't combat models. Their mining lasers are weaker and less accurate than blasters. I doubt those droids could even hit one of us.
Are you blind? What about the miners in Medbay? It's sabotage, and it started right after the commander said we weren't going to sell the Jedi to the exchange. So I want you to find out how these droids are being sabotaged. That'll tell me who's trying to clear a path to get that Jedi off the facility, and stop him. In the meantime, make sure the security's armed with all the ion and sonic charges you can find. If those droids start coming after me, I'm gonna need more than low-grade mining lasers to take them down. Clear?
Yes, sir. Maintenance control out.
Idiot. I installed an override switch to shut down any droids on this level, just in case someone locks me out of the administration console. As added insurance, I tied the override switch into the circuit to the holding cell door. It'll make sure it can only be opened if all droids in the level are shut down. I doubt Corda or any of his men have the skill to pull off something like this, but I'm not taking any chances while we're sitting in the middle of this asteroid minefield. Whoever's responsible won't be able to have the droids rescue him after I lock him up. Nothing will cut through that door. He'll be trapped.
And one more.
I secured the stealth field generator inside one of the footlockers in the security storage room. If I have the specs right, the interface field should be effective against the droid's sensors. All I need to do is equip the belt, and some skill with stealth in order to use it. As long as I don't get too close to the droids, they shouldn't detect me. If any more droids start malfunctioning, the belt should buy me enough time to get to the override switch I set up in the communications blister console. I'd rather shut them down than destroy them. I want to find out how these droids are being sabotaged, maybe even turn them against whoever's sabotaging them.
Alright, check out the cameras. And some droids in the next room. And the console that you mentioned before. Ah, there is someone live. Oh, cool. And we'll get to chat with him in the next episode here in just a little bit. Alright. Time to...
Be careful.
Whoa.
There is much energy in the room beyond, yet it stems from nothing that lives.
Kreia? What?
Can you not sense them? Reach out. Cast aside your sight. Cast aside what you see, and instead reach out with your perceptions. Ah, you can feel them. The droids you cannot perceive, but the small oscillations of energy, that you can feel, echoing outwards.
With Kreia's help, you have gained the passive precognition power. When this power is triggered, you should save your game. Alright. And I'll just go ahead and do what the game says and save. Alright. And go say hi to Big Bad and Ugly.
Ah, you hear it. It is faint, but it is there.
And there's a droid sitting right over there. What is happening?
It is the Force, you feel. It has not been so long as for you to forget.
It's like a sound, but...
Do not turn away from it. Listen. Feel it echoing within you. Come, I shall guide you down the familiar paths. You will need it if we are to survive and escape this place.
Gaining experience will slowly re-establish your connection to the Force. Go to the level up screen and choose your Force abilities. Alright, level up. Gain Force Sensitive and Unarmed Specialist. So, go ahead and do that. And just put all that skill into awareness. Because why not? Unfortunately, you can't get quite a heal until level 6, but essentially I'm going to go ahead and stick to what I've what I did before and just choose stun droid, since pretty much this part of the game pretty much deals with droids themselves.